Hi everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Women of Sweet Swine County, where we share small town stories with big town attitude. And oh, Paris, can you believe it? Oh, and
you know,
the
if I
viewing
pull
audience, we are beyond embarrassed.
If I
Look.
pull this down, can you
But you
recognize
can't cover
me?
it all up.
Oh, jeez.
This has never happened before,
That-
people. As you can see, we have the same outfits on that we had in the last show.
Whoever told Nicole that we broke in and tried on the
You know
clothes.
what happened? We went back to our dressing room to change, and our clothes had been stolen.
No, our wardrobes, not our clothes.
Everything's
our
gone.
entire
Everything's
closet.
gone.
You know what we could do? I had the most wonderful, fabulous idea.
What?
What is across the street from the studio?
The Giddy Up Boutique. We'll run over to the Giddy Up Boutique, and we can change our clothes. There's more than one way to skin Nicole now, isn't there?
Exactly, yes. But
before, yes.
I have a ladies,
before.
are you listening?
Okay, you do that.
So
We'll get to the business at hand here. And now, everyone, it's time for...
Ladies, are you listening?
Here we go.
I'm sure our audience wants to hear every word.
It's actually kind of interesting, and there are two parts to it.
Okay,
So
perfect.
here we go. Ladies, Marion Moses here, longtime fan, love your show, and decided to drop you a line. Thank you, Marion. Recently, I met some great people. They own Minnesota Screen Printing in Pennock, Minnesota. I think that's how you say it. I think it's Pennock. Gary and Connie Crow and their son Jason have owned Minnesota Screen Print and Embroidery since 1983. They do all kinds of screen printing. They do screen printing on any kind of garment, but I was amazed to learn that they have even done screen printing on gloves and watches. I didn't even know that you could do that.
I didn't know that was possible either.
Yeah, that's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Also, they do banners for businesses or political events. And, well, that's just the beginning of what they do. But their business is not the only reason I contacted you. Halfway around the globe, Gary's dream is coming true. Gary and Connie had a desire for the last 20 years to somehow, someday, some way, make the life of little children in India better and easier.
Oh, how sweet.
I know. Since his first trip to India in 1988 and over 50 trips after that, the desire to help children has only intensified. In October of 1995, Gary and his wife Connie took a giant step of faith to started a children's home. Yes, a children's home in India. After renting a building in a city in southern India and with the help of 3 local brothers to supervise the home and select children for acceptance with those with the greatest needs, the children's home became a reality. By December of 1995, the children began arriving. There were 13 boys and 3 girls ranging in age from 6 to 13. Named Hope in the Night Children's Home, it now houses over 50 children and is growing as additional funding is provided. When a child enters the home, they are given 2 sets of clothes, a bed to sleep in, and 3 nourishing meals each and every day. These are 3 things these children have never had up to this point in their young lives. Oh, I have goosebumps.
Yeah.
The responsibility to care for the children does not stop there. They also receive medical attention, education, and daily Christian training. Besides the children themselves, 5 Indian Christian adults are employed by the home. The staff includes a college-certified school teacher, which that's awesome, a watchman, a cook, a cleaning person, and a house mother. In February of 2000, Hope in the Night opened a computer store for the children in the slums on the west side of India in Mumbai. They sponsor medical camps in the inner city, and a women's training center has also been started to help the local Indian women provide income for their families.
Wow.
That is wow.
Amazing.
Well, I could go on and on and on. Just take a look at their website. You will not believe all they do. A couple from a small town in Minnesota is making a difference on the other side of the world. And I thought you should know.
Give them a hand.
Yeah, that is awesome. Well, thank you, Marion.
How inspiring.
It is.
Paris.
It's inspiring.
And they must have more to the business here. Can we see some of that?
Some of their screen printing. There's
very
some
nice.
samples that they've done.
Hey, you know what? We could have them do some screen printing for the Giddy Up.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun?
There. See?
Minnesota screen print and embroidery. Boy, these guys are busy
Different
people.
colored shirts. The screen printing
There we
one.
go.
Here
There's
it
the
is.
Hope
I had
in the
it
Night,
buried.
everybody.
There we go.
Yeah. Hope in the Night Ministries. And there you have it.
Ladies, are you listening?
Well, Paris, what do you think? Before we bring out our guest,
Yeah.
should we run over to the Giddy
Well,
Up and
yeah,
change our clothes?
I
That was
am.
such an awesome idea that you came up with.
Of course. So we'll take a short break.
short break,
While
we
they
hope.
watch, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they'll watch something
Here we
fun.
go. We'll
and
run over to the Giddy Up and we'll be
right back with the fun guest.
Get ready, because just when you thought you'd gotten the cockleburs out of your overalls, they're now on TV. That's right, this is one weed you won't want to pull. The Cocklebur Morning Show, with hosts who deliver a mix of news, entertainment, and information about the communities throughout our story country. Now on this station and the web.
So, help Prairie Ann and I welcome our fabulous guest who is from the county of Rock and the town of Luverne and, again, the fabulous state of Minnesota. Please help me welcome Miss Katie Walgrave.
Oh, Katie, we are so excited to have you here today. And Paris, did you know she's a real bona fide actress outside of Sweet Swine? Believe it?
I keep telling you that there are lots of interesting things and people outside Sweet Swine.
There is.
I know.
And Katie, tell us where you're from, since you're from outside Sweet Swine.
I'm from Luverne, Minnesota.
Awesome. And do you do film and theater?
Yes. Yes, I do both.
And can you tell us about that?
I started doing theater when I was 15, which was just like 2 years ago, right?
And you're not going to believe it, but me too. I started when I was 15 too.
That was not 2
We're
years
alike,
ago.
we're
That
alike.
was not 2 years ago. FYI.
Yeah, it was half my life ago.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe a little more.
So was it community theater or at the school?
I started in high
Everything?
school theater.
Okay.
And my very first production, I had 2 lines. Holly for sale. But I screeched it really loud. The whole theater heard me. Nobody was straining to hear those lines.
And were there talent scouts in the audience?
I'm sure there were. But they didn't call me.
They didn't call you.
The only reason I got involved was because my friends all auditioned for this play, and I didn't even know about it. And they all got parts, and they said, Katie, why aren't you in the play? And I'm like, I don't know. And so we talked to the director, and she said I could do backstage, and then discovered there were 2 lines that needed to be said.
You started like with 2 lines. Mm-hmm. Where did you go from there?
I don't know. I guess
Did you just, I mean, did
when
that
you
give you
first
confidence, or?
when you first start out, you think you want the lead all the time, and then you have the lead a couple times, and you realize it's kind of a lot of work to memorize this many lines.
Oh, yeah.
And then you go, I don't really mind having just 2 lines and helping out backstage, so I don't really mind.
Well, everybody heard you.
Whatever the director thinks I belong in, that's where I
Right.
go.
And you said you do both theater and film.
Mm-hmm.
Do you happen to do musicals, which I know somebody really loves?
Yes, I've done musicals. I played Marianne in Gilligan's Island,
Wow.
which was really fun. I was grateful to have a very good pianist because I don't have the best rhythm, and so sometimes I wouldn't always sing where the music was supposed to be singing. I can get the notes right, just not always the right pace. So she would just play with me, and that worked out well
Well,
for
that's
us.
kind of a marriage.
It is kind of Marianne-ish, yeah.
Yeah, we had fun. So
So you've done theater, musicals, film. How did you?
Segue into
Yeah, I was going to say that's. I mean, a lot of people do, or some start with film and then go back to theater. So
I had kind of a large event happen in my life about 5 years ago, and that was a big cancer event. And so I had the whole bald head and everything, and I realized, nothing was really that scary. And I saw somebody was looking for extras in a short film that they were doing. And so I sent them a message and I said, I'd like to be your extra, and that's where it started from there. I hit it off with the director, and then he actually was working on a feature at the time on writing one and getting the money together for one, and he actually wrote a part for me for that movie.
special part.
Yeah.
So, and that was actually this movie. I brought
Okay.
one along to show.
The name of the movie is?
The Legend of Cooley Moon.
The Legend of Cool.
And who is the star?
The guy on the front, his name is Chad Egan. He was Cooley Moon. So
And this was filmed?
this was
in-
filmed. Actually, it was
what I was
filmed
trying to
at my parents' house.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
wow. So it's an indie film then? Is that correct?
Your last name sounds familiar, doesn't it? And from
And
Luverne.
talented and from Luverne.
It's those blasted things.
It
isn't
is. That's correct.
Wow. Well, what do they think of?
They're excited about it. I work for them when I'm not acting, and they're really nice to me. If I have an acting job, I can say,
And you can just take off.
Can I
and-
can I be gone
Yeah,
Tuesday?
exactly.
I have something that I need to be doing, and they say, yeah, that's okay.
Could you share a little synopsis of what the film is about for us?
The Legend of Coolie Moon is about a post-apocalyptic type Earth where they're not really sure what happened. There was a virus outbreak that kind of wiped out a lot of people. It's not. It's not super
Suspense.
horror. Yeah, it's more suspenseful. And the main guy comes along, and he's finds this house, and encounters a strange woman who happens to be me.
And you said the house is actually your parents' house?
The house that we used
That you filmed?
is an abandoned house on their property.
Okay, I was going to say, wait a minute. So how did you get the role again? You said that
He wrote that role
he wrote
for
the
me.
part for you? Oh, wow. So
Worked out.
was it a completely different role from the
Oh,
first
absolutely.
one?
The first one, I was this bald, scary vampire monster thing. And then this one was a crazy lady. And that one was released in 2012. I have one that'll be coming out hopefully right around October of 2015. And it's called Death Rot. That one's a horror movie, not really meant for kids. I would allow my children to watch that one.
So what did you think of doing the horror movie? Did you like that? Or
Yeah, that's one of my favorite genres, actually. So I enjoyed it. But I play a police officer in that one. So.
And the fun of doing all these indie films, have they won awards?
Some of them have. There was one called A Prairie Wind a few years ago that won an award. I can't remember what festival. And then just recently, a film that I was in called Someone for Everyone just won an award.
Oh, wow.
And that one was kind of interesting to do because I was it was like a blind date, and we were both really terribly awkward, and I was throwing up all the time. And
Oh, no.
it was kind of fun. And then there's
Kind of fun. Throwing up or just
no, it was
being
fake.
awkward?
It was fake. Being awkward
Yeah.
was fun.
But still.
There was one film called Love in the Dust that I did with a friend of mine, John Barnes, where we we won the actual whole film festival, so that was kind of cool. It was best of show.
Kudos to you. And I heard a little buzz, something
Yeah,
about Travel
Travel-
Channel.
the
Can
Travel
you fill us in
Channel,
on
what?
that?
There was an episode of the Travel Channel that was filmed in Pipestone, Minnesota, which is not too far from Luverne, and they needed a person to portray a waitress. So on this television show, I was on the Travel Channel. That was kind of exciting, and
She's been on the Travel Channel.
I'm sitting here listening.
I was the main evil character that they all hated. So that was good.
Well, before we go, because we're getting the signal out back, I know Prairie Ann would absolutely love to see a clip. I would too, but she is just bouncing in her seat. Do you have any? Did you bring any little clips of?
Sure, I brought
of
one
the
with.
films you've been in.
They failed to unlock the mystery.
Everybody's dead.
Humanity is doomed.
Whatever it is, or whatever the hell's going on, it's not safe here anymore.
I don't know much about them. They usually just come, they eat, and they leave. They are here. And you're feeding them.
We'll continue heading north from here like we originally planned. Rabbit is still missing. And then there's this crazy hillbilly not too far from here. He seems keen on doing whatever it takes to get that thing around your neck.
You need to tell us what's going on. What do you expect we do, Mr. Moon?
Anything that has to do with getting as far away from here as possible.
This summer, from first-time director Brett Deacre, the legend lives. The Legend of Coolie Moon.
Hey, Katie, can I like you on Facebook?
Yes, you
tell us
can.
about that?
Yes, if you look up Katie Walgrave on Facebook, you can find my acting page, and I'll post different updates, like a picture of the set I might have posted
Or any
today.
little clips, or
I post clips and trailers. Sometimes if a short has been released on YouTube or Vimeo, then I'll post it on there, and you can watch the whole thing.
Perfect. What do you think
and
about
I
that?
assume that your website link. You have
Yes,
a
I
website.
do.
It links to Facebook. Facebook links to your website
Yep.
as everybody else.
Facebook is the best place to go because you get the updates right away. No waiting.
It's great. She has been so excited.
So check it out on
She's been
Katie's
so
Facebook
excited.
page.
Yeah.
But speaking of that, we got to wrap it up because Paris and I are hopping in the car with Katie, heading back to Luverne so we can check out for some extras, right?
Exactly.
We need to get some extra parts. So
That sounds good.
we're going to have to say goodbye to you guys. And remember, we share small town stories with big town attitude. For we are the women of Sweet Swine County. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.